Tales from the End of the World Original Audio Productions presents The Harlequin. Moxie Malone, tarot card reader extraordinaire, padded down the hallway barefoot to her work table. She had a client to meet, and she was going to make sure everything was perfect. These suckers, they believed just about anything Madame Moxie told them. The table and the room looked like something out of a Hollywood set for any fortune teller, but if you wanted to draw them in, you had to look the part. She opened her pack of tarot cards. "Shit!" she hissed. The cards were torn, but how? She was always so careful with them. They were bread and butter, after all. She would have to go down to the magic shop around the corner. They had that clockwork jester in there, and that thing creeped her out. She grabbed an umbrella and headed for the door. Massive thunderstorms coming, the news had said. "Miss Malone," Bill Rigman, her neighbor, started. "Here." Bill handed her a pamphlet. She read the bold-faced letters. "Jesus saves." She put on a kind smile. Or at least she hoped it looked kind. "Thanks, Bill. I'm having tea with Satan later. Got anything you'd like me to ask him?" Bill grumbled something under his breath and closed the door to his unit. Ah, Bill and Helen Rigman, what a fun couple. She walked to the shop under a sky full of thick black thunderheads. She entered, and the bell chimed over the door. She waved at Lisbeth, the shop owner, and Liz waved back. She smiled, and she roamed the aisles. She stopped cold when she came upon the clockwork jester. The white skin, the bright, garish colors, the eternal, toothy smile, and the dead, unblinking eyes. "Stop staring at me, you bastard," she said as she walked off. She felt his eyes on her. She came to the counter to Lisbeth. "What's the problem, sugar?" Lisbeth asked. "I need a new deck of tarot cards. My card's ripped. Got anything, I don't know, special?" Moxie asked. "I think I have just the thing." Lisbeth began to search beneath the counter. "Ah, this should keep you honest." She handed the deck to Moxie with a smirk. Moxie examined it. The Harlequin deck for an honest reading. Honest. When she had started, she had been nothing but honest. But her clients didn't want honest. They wanted showmanship. They wanted movie shit. So she adapted. "How much?" Moxie asked. Her hands tingled as she held the deck. "No charge. But it comes with a heavy price, and not everyone can handle it," Lisbeth said. Moxie nodded and thanked her and went home. She laid out the new deck face down on her table, after shuffling them, of course. The rain started, and then, with all the fixings of lightning and thunder, she flipped the first card. The image was a man in a gray suit slumped against a tile wall. Blood ran out of his chest and pooled over him. The legend read, "The Murder-Suicide of Steve Whitman." Moxie froze. Steve Whitman was one of her out-of-town clients. He came to her on a whim, and she foretold that his wife had taken a lover. What the fuck was going on? She flipped another card. The sad last days of Liz Tillman. It was an emaciated woman sat sewn into a rocking chair. Another client. And another false forecast. Cold rushed through as she continued to flip the cards to see faces of past clients and their horrible fates. Lightning lit up the room, and she screamed, bolted up, and ran to the window. And down below on the street corner, the clockwork jester stood looking up at her. Another flash of lightning, and he was across the street at the condo's door. She turned to flee and bumped right into the jester. "Good morning, Miss Malone," the jester said through its smile. As it moved, the gears inside made a horrifying clicking noise. Moxie took a couple steps back until she bumped into the table and screamed as another bolt of lightning lit the room. "I see you're playing with your new deck, but you haven't finished flipping them. Sit down and finish, but remember the center card is yours," the jester said. "No, I don't want to," Moxie choked out. "I said Finish! The jester roared. Moxie dropped into her seat, her heart racing, tears beginning to pour out of her eyes. The jester, all his gears turning, took the seat next to her. Please don't make me, Moxie begged. Pay your price, fortune teller, the jester responded. As if unable to stop, she began to flip the cards one by one, tears pouring down her eyes. As she did so, her whole body trembled, and the jester stared on with his cruel smile. There was the hanging of Louis Simons. The card was a dirty room and a man's bare legs suspended in midair. Moxie wailed at every new name and every new horror the card showed her, and the jester said nothing. Just sat there staring at her with his dead eyes and his never faltering smile. She stopped when she had reached the last card on the table, the one in the dead middle. Flip your card, the jester ordered. No, please, no, I'm sorry, no, Moxie whimpered. Too late for sorry. They can't hear your apologies for your mistellings, your showmanship that led their lives to ruin. Now flip your card, the jester spoke, and with a trembling hand that the owner had lost control of, reached and touched the card. Moxie struggled and begged her hand to stop. Flip it! The jester roared. Moxie screamed. The lightning flashed, and she flipped the card. The Harlequin. Moxie gasped and screamed as her hand on the table stiffened and turned porcelain white. No, please, no! Moxie screamed. The day after, Bill and Rigman went for a walk out on the sunny street. They passed by the magic shop and both stopped dead in the tracks. They were staring at the new statue that stood outside the shop. It was a clockwork Harlequin. Geez, Bill, don't it just look like our neighbor Miss Malone that went missing a week ago? Bill nodded, and they continued their walk, haunted. Hey guys, I'd like to thank you for listening if you've made it this far into the video. I would also like to encourage you to like, subscribe to the channel, help us grow and become something more, comment and share these videos. I also encourage you to check out our other videos, and please check out all necessary social media links that we add to the description below. And cheers. This is your host.